a special dispensation was made by the government in consideration of a demand from landlocked states, smaller states, border states like Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Uttarakhand, Manipur, that they should not be deprived the benefits of such a policy because their strengths are in fruits and vegetables, in agri-produce. Accordingly, a dispensation was made that the identification and determination of cities in states which do not have a single city with a population of 1 million plus is left to the state government. Thereafter, states, big states which had endorsed the policy, notified the same, wanted a consideration to add more cities of their choice. All states have now been allowed to add cities in addition to the ones with a population of 1 million, which exist in their state as per their decision, identification, and determination. So these are the three major changes in the multi-brand retail policy, which accommodates many of the issues that have been raised and brings in more clarity and gives more space to the investors. The third decision is that of the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. This was with regard to reviewing the foreign direct investment policy as the definition of the term control and management. It's important to recapitulate the course of decisions in this matter. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs had accepted the recommendations of a group of ministers in February 2009 on the definition of ownership and control in the context of foreign direct investment or equity holdings by an resident Indian entity. That definition, which was approved in 2009, is as follows. A company is considered as controlled by resident Indian citizens if the resident Indian citizens and Indian companies which are owned and controlled by resident Indian citizens have the power to appoint a majority of its directors in that company. This is the existing definition, which was notified later through Press Note 2, 3, and 4. And later, the FEMA guidelines were accordingly amended, and this is the notified definition of ownership and control. This issue was discussed between Finance Minister, Commerce and Industry Minister, and the Deputy Chairman Planning Commission. Since there have been developments, there is a SEBI-SAS regulations and the definition of ownership and control. There is the Companies Bill of 2012 giving a definition of ownership and control, which is almost identical to the SEBI regulations on this particular issue. Thereafter, we decided to broaden and deepen the definition, aligning as far as possible with the SEBI regulations and the Companies Bill regulations. The Cabinet has considered the proposal of the new definition, which is not entirely identical to the Companies Bill or SEBI regulations for understandable reasons, as this particular definition deals specifically with the foreign direct investment. The new definition, as aligned and approved today, I shall read for your benefit. control shall include the right to appoint a majority of the directors, is the same as last, or to control the management or policy decisions, this is new, including by virtue of their shareholding or management rights or shareholders' agreements or voting agreements. So all these components are there in the SEBI regulation as well as in the company's bill. So what we have done, the rationale is that expanding to cover control exercised by a foreign company in various indirect ways, including the voting agreement, shareholders' agreements, have been taken in the embrace of the new definition. The new definition will be prospective. It will take a while for this to be notified and all the regulations accordingly aligned thereafter, including the FEMA guidelines. So these are the three decisions which have been taken, two in the cabinet, one by the CCA.
Yes, Shishir.
You see, let me tell you that it's not a question of sub-brands. What we have addressed, single brand. I'll explain to you in the meantime so that I read the exact formulation to you. When an application is received for FIPB approval, the applicant, whether the owner of a brand or otherwise, that's having a legal agreement and the right from the holder of the brand holder, will file a list of products. That means multiple. A list will always be a multiple of what they can sell as single brand. There is a change, and you can register the same. If you want, I can read both the existing and the new one. Existing 6.2, 16.4, bracket 3, application seeking permission of the government for FDI in retail trade of single brand products would be made to the Secretariat for Industrial Assistance in the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. The application would specifically indicate the product categories which are proposed to be sold under a single brand. Now, the letter